What's up everybody, welcome back to Casual Lad. Today's video is on the top 5 planes of Military Tycoon in 2023, or at least in my opinion. I have been receiving quite a number of requests for plane showcase, so I thought I would do it near the end of the year. Let's set a few parameters. Firstly, the plane should be available up to the point when this video is recorded, and not just released in 2023. That means it will include planes from 2022 or 2021 if the planes are great. Secondly, the plane should be available for free-to-play players without an unreasonable grind. That means there is a chance for everybody to get it. Thirdly, the list is not going to be a ranking list. It does not mean that the plane which I mentioned last is the strongest, and that is because the planes serve different purposes. Also, it is a list of my top 5 favorite planes, not the top 5 strongest planes. Lastly, it has to be, obviously a plane. That includes all aerial vehicles like the sky fortresses, jets, and planes. Helicopters are technically not planes, but they are part of aerial vehicles too. But I won't be including them because none of them made it to the list anyway. The first plane to kick off is definitely the Gold AC-130. You get the Gold AC-130 from a series of Commander X style of missions. This plane is tough as hell and I sigh whenever I have to deal with one of those. Not that I can't beat it, but it will take some time if I'm lazy to switch to the Falcon. It has one of the highest health, if not the highest health among planes. You will require 48 to 50 heat knife slashes to destroy it at level 1. Despite being a heavy plane and only a decent speed, it turns really well. I consider it agile. The firepower and weaponry is awesome too. Powerful machine guns with lots of ammo and a main cannon. Great for destroying structures, NPCs, and occasionally players. There are downsides to this Sky Fortress. You have to switch it to attack mode before you can fire your weapons. Movement is automatic in attack mode, so you cannot control where it goes. Weapons are on the right side because it moves in a clockwise direction in attack mode. So other players can simply flank you on the left side and you are pretty much helpless. It is a heavy air-to-ground assault plane, so there is no lock-on mechanism. It cannot target planes. But it is still a great plane to me if I want to destroy ground vehicles, NPCs or structures. Well, you can use it on ships too if you want to. Even if you miss the Gold AC-130, you can still get the regular AC-130 from Spec Ops when a B-29 spawns again in future updates. The regular one is pretty damn good too. The second plane is the Falcon. You get the Falcon from the very first rotation of the Elite shop. Remember how I was glorifying the health of the Gold AC-130 just a minute ago? Yup, the Falcon can shred the Gold AC-130 in seconds. The laser has disgustingly high damage output. Fortunately or unfortunately, you cannot aim with the laser. It will simply fire straight ahead. Well, that's fair, right? Everything will be shredded immediately if you can aim with the laser. That would be too overpowered. I still use it regularly on other heavy planes and ships because it's just so effective. Yes, it works very well on ships as well. That's one of the rare jets that I use to deal with ships. Ultimately, Falcon is just good on slow and huge targets with lots of health. As for the missiles, they are not really impressive. Yeah. If you have been watching my videos, I have always discredited planes with machine guns that cannot aim. Falcon is the only exception. Those machine guns are weak and they cannot aim, so they are pretty much useless. But the laser of the Falcon does huge damage. That's the difference. Because the Falcon rewards skills with damage output and I really like that. I hope they do not nerf it or change anything about it. The third plane on my list is the Asam. Well, it's not really a plane, but it is an aerial vehicle. This is the vehicle from the 3rd Elite Shop rotation. In fact, you can still get it right now at the time the video was recorded. The Gold F-35 used to be my only favorite for a long time until all these stronger planes are released. And that's because it can hover and it is pretty much the strongest back in the days. Recently, I have replaced the Gold F-35 with the Astrum. The Astrum can hover too, and it makes mundane errands a lot easier. It is more of the convenience if anything. The primary weapon is great, lots of ammo, good explosive damage. The Astrum is also the only vehicles with AI turrets right now. I know the Helicon has it, but it's not working now. The AI turrets are really strong and it covers a good range. In fact, I would say that it is the strongest feature in the Astrum. But that also leads to a major downside. It attacks everybody close to you. Other players see it as an act of aggression, and they start retaliating. That is extremely annoying when you're farming. I hope that we can activate or deactivate the AI cannons at will. It is quite slow, but I consider it quite agile. It has pretty good health too. It is an air-to-ground assault vehicle, so it is great for destroying ground vehicles, NPCs, and structures. You can use it on ships as well if you want to, but not so much on aerial fights since it cannot lock onto anything. I don't really like the missile since it blankets an area instead of focusing on a point. The fourth vehicle, the Super B-52. I mean, come on, this is the plane everybody is talking about right now. In fact, there are still 10 days to get it before the Christmas event of 2023 is over. Drop a nuke and you will know why. You can destroy Centerbots in one shot, and Centerbots are much tougher than regular NPC soldiers. Walls in fortresses get destroyed too. Great for destroying structures and NPCs. There is a 1-minute cooldown, but that's fine. The nuke has already overshadowed its stats and all other features. The Super B-52 has decent speed and health. It is agile. It has a machine gun in the passenger seat and it has bombs as secondary weapons. But those are not the things why you want a Super B-52. Nuke. Enough said. Okay, now onto my final plane. Well, you guys guessed it. It's the ATC-29 Silkfire. I use the Silkfire the most at this point of time. It is from the second rotation of the Elite Shop. Great damage, great health for a jet, and a good speed. Very agile as well. Both weapons are strong, even though I think the machine guns have been nerfed, capable of aerial dogfights and air-to-ground assaults. It is so fast that it can outrun the most basic missiles. You don't even need flares for them. The missile is hypersonic, meaning that it can hit most planes. Last but not least, the missile ignores flares, so it is a 100% hit rate as long as the missile can catch up to the plane. And because of that, fights between Silkfire are extremely boring. It boils down to whoever fired the first shot will win. In fact, there are quite a number of requests to further nerf the Silkfire. I think it is the most well-rounded jet right now that you have for multi-purpose use. If you have missed the Silkfire, you can still get it from the store. I don't really see it, maybe that's because I already own it, but I think it should cost 3,000 Robux, which is pretty expensive considering that it will become obsolete one day. Just look at the Gold F-35. It used to be in a store and it became obsolete in just a few months' time. There are also many other planes that are pretty good but did not make it into my list. The YF-23, Nova Blitz, F-117, Darkstar, Gold MiG-29 all have some kind of special features in them. But I just don't use them personally and I thought they could be a little stronger without being overpowered. Now if you're a Robux spender, the Gold Falcon will definitely replace the Falcon in the list. The stats are better and I think it has 2 more missiles, but it costs 3,000 Robux. 3,000 Robux is very expensive. There is another jet called the Blackbird from the previous season. Now the jet will probably make it into my list as well if it doesn't cost Robux. I don't own the Blackbird, but I did experience and use it before. The Blackbird can outrun a hypersonic missile from the Silkfire. I mean, nothing can hit it now, isn't it? Unfortunately, I can't show you these jets. I am unable to purchase things off Military Tycoon and I have feedback to the development team. However, they pushed it to Roblox and my issue remains unsolved. So that's it for today's video. I hope this list of mine gives you some insights of my favorite planes. Some may not be the best, but they are all definitely at the top of the list. Please leave a thumbs up if this video had helped you, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to turn on that notification bell too. Bye!